8 days ago, I beached my sailboat on this remote island to renew my bottom paint. Although it was quite tricky to paint between tides and massive rain showers, the paint job turned out really well. But hey, let's start at the beginning. Two weeks ago, we scouted out an area where I could beach my sailboat, moved it to that beach, and tied it up to some trees and mangroves. We scraped the hull and grinded off some remaining barnacle feet, always between tides and massive rain showers. I had done a small paint test to see if the paint would actually hold up with a slightly shorter cure and dry time, and things are looking pretty good so far. Alrighty, it's day number 5 today, and I gave my worker bees a little break for today because the weather is not supposed to be so great, so we can't do the big painting. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna go around the boat and look for all the little spots where there's bare aluminum showing. It's not a lot, but it still has to be done. They need to be etch primed and then a couple of layers of primer before we put the layer of primer on the whole boat. So I'm gonna do that today and then see how the weather's doing. Alrighty, so I sanded all the bare aluminum spots to take off the aluminum oxide. The etch primer doesn't have any particular time to cure. It's a 2-component paint, but it's not like, for example, the epoxy primer needs, the one that I have needs 15 minutes to induct, I think is the word. This one doesn't have any particular time to induct. You can use it straight away. So I'm gonna pick up my little paintbrush now and go slap on a little bit of paint. That it's just really a very thin layer of etch primer. It's still see-through, as in you can still see the metal through the paint, but that's how it's supposed to be. It's really just like the first little gripping layer, and on top of that then you put the primer, which will then cover the boat nicely and give it a decent protection layer. Day number 5? No. Day number 6. Today is the day of the days. Hopefully the paint's gonna go on. It's really not such a great weather forecast today. It's super humid and we just had a big rain shower, so could only start prepping now. The tide is just out, so the boat is dry, and I'm gonna start washing with fresh water, then acetone, and then slapping the primer on. Today's the last day of the fairly good tide, so if I need to stay longer, then I need to move the boat a little further out so I can still get off the ground. Because after that, the high tide will be lower again. Still a little bit higher than when I arrived, but if I want to be safe, then I need to leave, at least move later on today or tomorrow morning. Just when I was done washing the salt off Karl's keels, Maria and Paul arrived to give a hand with an acetone belly rub, to tape off the waterline, and to put some rain gutters up. Everything is prepped now. The boat is nice and clean and dry, and now there is a massive rumble thunderstorm in the back. So I'm wondering if I should go for it or not. Thing is, if I mix the primer, then it has to go on, because otherwise it's just gonna cure and go bad. So tough decision. I think this little shower just wanted to give us a little beer break in between cleaning and painting, because it came right in the moment when we're ready. And now we're at the bottom of the beer, and it's lightening up. Back to work. Still got hours. The water's still super far away. We just got ready in time. Really just in time. The paint is actually, oh, here definitely not dry yet. And a bit thick. But on the bottom, we started on the bottom, so the bottom is kind of alright. This is the best part of painting. Ta-da! Ooh, water's coming! Pretty good, I'd say. We finished the first layer of antifouling just in time before the tide rolled back in and splashed Karl's keels. Well, first it's time to call it a day. It's beer o'clock. Thank you. And tomorrow I have to clean my anodes and my prop with the grinder, and I would love to put a second coat of antifouling on. Unfortunately, the weather decided that it had been cooperative enough now for my bottom paint project, and I had to give the second coat a rain check. Wow, you can hear the water coming back. It's so loud. The sea stain has definitely picked up a little bit throughout the last days. In the beginning you wouldn't even hear the transition. And now every wave is like boom, boom. The whole hull is vibrating. Oh. Well, it's good to hear the water coming back. It'll be interesting tomorrow. I moved the boat forward a little bit, but I don't know if I moved it enough, so we will know in a couple of hours if Karl is still floating or if I'll be stuck here for the next month. Day number 8.
It is?
It is day number 8, yeah. I think so.
Moly.
Yeah, holy moly, that's what I thought too. This morning was really relaxing because the only thing I had to do was move Karl quite a bit forward. This morning is the last spring tide. After that, the high tide is gonna go down quite a bit again. Today it's at 470 and tonight it's gonna be 430. So quite the difference. I came in at 420. Tomorrow morning I think it's gonna be 430 again, and then tomorrow night it's gonna be 395. So I'm just gonna try and pull the boat forward about a boat length and hope that that's gonna be enough so I can get off with the 430. If not, I'll have to stay for a month. So the only thing I had to do this morning was that at 7, and today low tide is at 2, so I actually got to sit this morning for 2 hours and drink coffee and relax. It was so beautiful. Then I jumped down below and I put another rain gutter up, and I gave Karl, I was gonna say I gave Paul, gave Paul a little rinse. I gave Karl a little rinse with fresh water. Now he's drying, but he looks like he's nearly good to go. And Paul just came over to give me a hand, so we're a little faster. We still have 1.5 hours to low tide. There's a big rain cloud forming, but I hope that we're just gonna get it ready before that. I'm gonna start this time with the waterline, because that for me is the most important part to get more paint on. If I don't manage to do the bottom part before it rains or whatever, then I'm happy. I just wanted to use the masking tape. I put the masking tape on yesterday, but then it rained on me. So I wanted to make sure that we get it done today so I don't have to do the stupid masking tape again. Okay, the waterline is done. The whole port side is done, and Paul is gonna take care of the rest of the starboard side now. And I'm gonna go one last time. Karl, under! everything ready except between the keels, like just the area between the keels, because it was still wet there. But the waterline has 3 layers of antifouling on and the rest has 2 layers on. So that's thumbs up, and it's just starting to rain. From the tide we still have enough time, but I'm not sure. Well, we'll see how bad the rain is. And then we'll see if I can paint between the keels. This is the last bit. Und dann ist es vollbracht. And I can finally crawl out of this space that I've been living in for a week now. It feels like. But it was worth it. It all looks super good. I'm very, very happy. All right, coming out. Hopefully without hitting my butt on the fresh paint. Oh. Okay, where's the margaritas? Where's the margaritas? Huh? Unfortunately, there was no bar with cold margaritas close by to reward us for this crazy 8-day-long beach yard marathon. But we had a capful to Karl's new bottom paint and marveled at his pretty smooth butt for a while before we had to pack everything away, making sure we don't leave anything behind. Thank you to Maria and Paul for sweating through this with me, and to Total Boat, who provided the epoxy primer and the antifouling. I'm looking forward to the next sail to see how the new bottom paint performs. But more about that next week, hopefully.